Dear students, we are going to do the experiment load test on DC shunt motor. So if you take the load test on DC shunt motor, we are going to perform loading test of the shunt motor and find out how its efficiency is there, how it is operating. If you take the circuit diagram, so circuit diagram consists of the input supply DC supply, 220 volt DC supply, which is given to the DPST switch. So DPST means double pole single throw switch. So you have double poles, one single throw. After the DPST switch, you have the fuse. After the fuse, you have the voltmeter. Voltmeter is connected between plus and minus, the terminals plus and minus to measure the voltage. And ammeter is connected to the positive terminal, so to measure the current. And it is after the ammeter is given to the 3-point starter. So DC shunt motor will be operated by using 3-point starter. So from the ammeter, it is given to the L point in the 3-point starter. From the F point, it is connected to the field through the rheostat. From the A point, it is connected to the armature. So L represents line, F represents field, A represents armature. So F represents field, so it is given to the field. A represents armature, it is given to the armature terminal of the motor. The motor rotor is connected to the brake drum, it is given to the loading arrangements. Here we are going to give the loads, and depending upon the load, how the motor is taking the currents and voltages, that we are going to test it. So this is the setup for the load test of a DC shunt motor. This is working table, and the motor what we are going to do a load test is this one. So you can see the nameplate details. What do you mean by nameplate details is a plate which gives the details of the motor. So it will be giving the details such as kilowatt, current, RPM, voltage, field current, like the different parameters of the motor will be mentioned in this nameplate detail. To have the clear nameplate details, you can see this here in the side of the table. It is mentioned. So it has this motor consists of the kilowatt of 3.7 HP5, armature current is 19 amps, and voltage is 220, RPM is 2500, voltage of 220 volts, field current of 0.6. So the connection in this board, so this is DPST switch. Supply will be coming to the DPST switch. So you can see, so from the supply it is given to the DPST switch. After the DPST switch, fuse is given. So supply will be coming here. So internally supply will be coming. After the DPST switch closes, you are going to the fuse. After the fuse, so after the fuse, we are going to connect voltmeter and ammeter. Through that, you are going to connect to the 3-point starter. So you can see this is your, after the fuse, plus terminal is coming, and it is connected to the ammeter and also voltmeter. So ammeter we are using 0 to 30 volt or 15 volt. 15 amps. Okay, 0 to 30 amps ammeter we are using. Okay, and voltmeter is 0 to 300 volt DC voltmeter. After the ammeter, so ammeter negative is connected to the ammeter negative is connected to the L. The same thing is here. Ammeter negative is connected to L, and from the F point. So from the F point, it is connected to the rheostat. So this is the rheostat. So rheostat here, which is connected to the bottom terminal, and the variable point of this rheostat. So this is your variable point. You can move this rheostat. So after the variable point, it is given to the field winding. So this is your field winding. So here this field winding is internally connected to the motor. So as next one is from the A point of the starter, it is given to the armature terminal, and from this point it is given to the field, and voltmeter negative, everything is connected to the negative terminal of the supply. So this is your circuit connection. Before starting the experiment, there are precautions there. So first precaution is DC motor should be started and stop with low load condition. No load, there should not be any load. So no load condition means, so here the motor is connected to the brake drum arrangements. So this brake drum of the motor should be rotate freely, which means that there is no load. So loading arrangement will be given through this. So if you give the load through the spring balance, the motor drum will be loaded. So how much amount of the kgs we are giving, that can be noted. So this is first precaution. So next one, the field rheostat should be kept minimum position. So this is your field rheostat. You are giving input to this point. So the rheostat should be kept at the minimum position. If you keep this rheostat at this point, that will be maximum position. So you have to keep the field rheostat at the minimum position. Next precaution is brake drum should be cooled and water should be used under the no load. So brake drum, if you give the load, it will be starting to generate heat. To dissipate that heat, the water arrangement has to be kept. So we have to pour water. So this water arrangement, so we have to pour water in the brake drum so that it can hold some of the water. So that water can be used to dissipate the heat when the motor is under loading condition. So the main supply switching on is that switch. If you have to MCB, you have to close it. So after closing, we have the supply for this table is indicated by this red LED, which means that supply is coming to these 2 points. So after the supplies came, we have to close this DPST switch. So after closing this DPST switch, motor will not switch on, it will not run, but we have to start the motor by using 3-point starter. So you can ensure that the supply has been came by seeing the voltmeter. So if you see the voltmeter, the needle is pointing around 200 volts. So which means that supply came to the motor. So motor has the voltage. We have to start the motor by using 3-point starter. So 3-point starter is this one. We have to move this handle step by step slowly. If you move the handle, motor starts to rotate. You can see this motor starts to rotate. Next step, you can see the speed, the speed it is going on. So we have to maintain the motor to run at the rated speed. For that, we have to make the rheostat slightly moving by checking the speed. So speed has to kept to 1500. So by adjusting the rheostat, we can keep the motor to 1500 RPM. Now the speed has been set. Now the motor is kept at the no load condition. It is running at the 1500 RPM. We have to take initial no load reading. What is the amount of the voltage present in the voltmeter? What is the no load current? What it is taken? We have to note it down. That reading has to be written in the first one. No load reading. So no load reading consists of voltmeter, voltage, current, spring balance, speed. These are the these are the readings we have to take, and these are the things we have to calculate. So we have to note it down: voltage, current, spring balance, and difference we can calculate by using the difference of this spring balance. Speed we have to note it down by the tachometer. So we are going to note down these readings. After that, we are going to give the loads, and for each and every load we have to take the reading. Now the loading arrangement is adjusted so that we can load the motor. We can see by loading the motor, the spring balance will be indicating some of the loads. So this one we can keep it as a S1, and this one we can keep it as a S2. Some loads has been given. If you increase the loads, so the weight also increases, which means that the motor is loaded. When the motor is loaded, the speed of the motor gets reduced. Initially it is given to 1500, Now the speed will be reduced and the current taken by the motor will be increased. Previously it was around 1, now the current is increased. So after this load we have to take down the readings. So what is the ammeter reading, what is the voltmeter reading, what is the speed of the motor in which it is running, what is the weight S1 and S2. These are the readings we have to note it down. Note it down in the tabular column. So you have to note it down in the tabular column. So for the first loading we have taken the readings. For next, likewise you have to increase the loadings. Likewise you have to increase the load gradually and you have to take all the readings. How long you can load the motor is depending upon the rated current. You can see that the motor armature current is 20 amps. Till the armature current reaches 20 amps you can take the readings. Beyond 20 amps you should not take the readings. After reaching the rated current or below the rated current, you have to release the motor and then you have to shut it down the motor. For releasing the motor's load, you have to release the spring balance, fully release the spring balance. So the spring balance comes to 0, here also it comes to 0. Now the motor is under no load condition. After releasing the load, you have to keep the rheostat to minimum position and then you have to open up the DPST switch. Then when you open up the DPST switch, the starter comes to normal position automatically. So if the starter came, you can switch it off the MCB. Till now we have taken all these readings, voltage, current, S1, S2, speed. So for torque, output power, input power, efficiency, we can use the formulas to calculate it for different readings. After calculating all the readings, we have to draw the graph. So the graph, you have to draw it for this characteristic graph and mechanical characteristics and electrical characteristics. So you can see this. By using this reading, you can draw the characteristics graph. This consists of 3 graphs. So output power versus speed, output power versus torque, output power versus efficiency. Next graph is torque versus speed. So all these readings available in our tabular column, you have to draw the graph. After taking all the readings, you have to disconnect the wires. So you can see the disconnection. So disconnect it, remove the wires. So disconnect the meters also. After that, you have to return the components and the wires. That's all. Thank you.